One thing that I gotta address now, coinciding with smart everything, is AI. Now, we got firsthand experiences with ChatGPT. I think that's just like a drop in the
A
pond.
drop in the bucket?
More than the bucket. I think it's like
In
the pond.
The pond?
Because now we are. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now we are literally in the beginning stages of what could very well change the entire face of the world.
Yeah.
Once AI gets a stronghold on what we do as humans, then that'll be that. That'll be that. So, for example, AI in our industry, real estate and video. For real estate, AI, they're going to start to find places that people want much faster than we can. They're going to start making deals. They're going to start doing this. They're going to start doing that. So how do we navigate this?
We have to adapt. It's very simple. If you don't adapt to AI, you're going to be left behind. What was that analogy I gave you this morning? The countries back in the early 1900s that adapted to using oil and machinery,
the industrial era,
that versus using physical labor, were way further ahead than the countries that said, no, we have to stay and use manpower to grow our country, and that was that. Like, they basically took off. If you use oil and machines versus human labor, well, you're playing a different game, right? So today, if you're going to be using AI to grow your business and use it in your business in a good way, not in any
do you incorporate AI to your business?
For sure, we have to.
You have to, right?
We have
Steve,
to.
do you?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Or are you still pen and paper?
No, you'll be gone. You'll be gone.
You know who I am. I'm into that, like, really deep. So listen, ultimately, you look at AI, like, yeah, it's you want to sound something like. What's hilarious is the South Park new movie that came out, Pandaverse. You watch that? So basically, I was telling Mike about it just makes sense. Is that jobs with arms are going to last. Everything else is going to be basically taken over by AI, and it's the truth.
Job with arms?
Jobs with arms.
What does that mean?
Physical jobs. So you ever watched the South Park episode?
I didn't.
Okay, so it's a pretty cool episode. Again, these guys have been, they're on it, right? It's obviously in a humor way, but ultimately, it's like all the people that had great jobs, like lawyers, accountants, and like realtors, everything was like all these like high, like white collar, lived in the best areas, the best houses, the best things. Basically, were being replaced by AI. And the people that became the wealthy people in this it was the movie of Panda versus the South Park, was people that were doing like simple menial work, like traditional like house repairs and stuff like that. These guys took off and became the most wealthiest people because they were the only people that knew how to do things. That people like the white collar people in this, and I love it because it makes sense, is that these guys don't know how to do anything other than push paper. Now AI will do that more efficiently, and there's, I don't want to talk about it, but we utilize it a lot because we pay lawyers, we pay everybody to do a lot of stuff for us. If you see my accounting bills for what I'm doing, you'd fucking die, trust me. But I now run a lot of the analysis through the systems, and I get answers that I need, and I can actually question what's right and what's wrong to these professionals.
You've incorporated them into your team.
Like, this is like AI. Normal people, we're here. We're not fucking around. And you know what? This is gonna give us a better advantage to give our clients better services.
It's the inevitable.
Yeah, it's done.
AI is the inevitable.
Buddy, you have to adapt to it and take it in. The faster you adapt and you're on the forefront of it, it's like social media. I wish I was at the forefront of social media. I'm gonna be honest. Is it too late? No, never. But the guys that were at the forefront of social media are killing it for sure. The guys that are going to be at the forefront of AI and adapting and embracing it and using it at a high level are going to be able to give their clients a better service and turn things over a lot quicker than me and you can if we're writing it out.
You need an answer from a lawyer.
What do you mean?
If you needed an answer from a lawyer.
If I
right
need
now,
an answer?
right now, it's
Okay.
it's
called ChatGPT.
It's 3:10 p.m.
ChatGPT.
Call your lawyer that you've given $1 million of business and like.
And what am I going to get
got
from
nothing
him?
in return.
What am I?
But all you need is answers.
Okay.
And you call him at 3:10 on a Friday.
And what's going to happen?
You're not getting a call
Go
back.
call
Why
him on
not?
Christmas Eve.
You're not getting a call. You're not getting a call. You're getting a call maybe Monday.
So then how do I navigate that?
Fucked. So your whole weekend, let's just say something, and then this happened to me just recently. You wake up in the middle of the night like, hot flashes because you
Okay.
need answers, and people fucked up.
So how do I navigate
You
that?
paid people to do a job for you, and they messed it up, right?
How do I navigate that?
I've gone to these systems and I've worked at 3 a.m. Like when you can't sleep and you got all the answers, but you have no one to kind of like put it together. Like you got new systems now. So this is not, and I mentioned this in the last pod. I think it was a podcast or something we did. But ultimately, this is going to affect also realtors. It's going to affect all of us because ultimately you can now negotiate with AI. You can do a bunch of stuff. Again, and I've been testing it really, really at a high level, just kind of see like, what is it doing? How's the negotiation process of it? And it's very much like a top producing agent. Someone's negotiating the thousands of deals. I've
Really?
witnessed 1,000%.
crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We're not here, buddy. We're up here.
That's
Whoever
crazy.
you've talked to, we're up here. Trust me.
Most
Yeah.
people that I talk to, they're just thinking
Scratching.
about it. Yeah.
No. We're like it's like this
It's
is
not-
normal people. We're here. Trust me.
That's good.
Right
It's
now.
not dabbling anymore.
No,
It's
no,
like
good.
it's
No.
incorporated.
Because now you've succumbed to the
No, we
this
didn't
is gonna
succumb.
happen.
It came.
Yeah,
It came out,
no.
and we ran into it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
eventually, regardless of the situation, you were gonna adopt AI
I adopted right away. I'm not fooling around with stuff like that because
because you saw the potential in it.
it's the future, and
It is.
I've witnessed enough trends to kind of say, that's never going to take off, and it took off, and it's like this is it, and if you test it, because we're testing it like daily. I'm on it nonstop, right? I got a lot of stuff we're doing, right? I got to find answers, and when people can't give me answers that I'm paying them for, I'm going there, and I'm going there anyway, and then it's like. Even incorporate into our business and stuff like that, like even with our daily, strategies and stuff like that. It's an amazing tool, and we're now basically what they're saying is the Atari phase of it, like the little
really
ball.
for the AI.
It
What is
doesn't
it?
get
Yeah.
doesn't get stupider than today.
Holy
It just
No,
gets
of course
smarter,
not. Of
right?
course, of course. Now, are you guys worried at all?
Worried? There's I'm worried if
You
it
might
goes-
lose your jobs, man.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
for sure. Well, for sure, we're gonna lose our jobs, but there's bigger things that we're gonna grow from it. It's if you're thinking you're just gonna be a realtor for the rest of your life and write it out, and
God
AI
bless.
isn't gonna
No.
take your job. Yeah, you're
God
done.
bless.
You're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone.
You already have to understand.
What I'm telling
Yeah.
Mike too is like important is again Pandaverse. Watch it. These are very real.
Netflix?
I think it was on Apple TV. I go to comedy now, comedians, anything like that. These are the most brilliant people. They got the best take on whatever's currently happening in today's market or today's
They got
era.
the beat. They got the beat.
They know, and they're making fun of it. If you can make fun of something, it makes it more light. You can make light of it. Because if you're too much on the left or too much on the right, doesn't matter if that's a political or it's just like one side or the other. It's like you need someone to make jokes of both sides of it to kind of get some sort of guidance to where to go. And so the Pandaverse, honestly, it's hilarious. Obviously, it's funny as fuck. You got to watch it. And it basically gives you the thing that job with arms. That's what's the future. And I told Mikey when we talk about it, like real estate, we will be replaced at some point. You think you're going to need realtors for the rest of your life, like driving around in a
maybe.
Mercedes?
Never know.
It's not going to happen. I've in 2020 I was talking about this. Check my socials. I was talking about this in 2020. We like even with real estate, you're going to see more corporation based where it's like a listing house rather than let's say buyers agents and sellers agents. It's going to be like a big more corporation rather. And that's what it's going to be because the next generation coming up, like my kids. Dude, they're a lot smarter than I was.
But
the
that's the
generation-
evolution, though. We're smarter
Yes.
than our parents, and their parents are smarter than
But
their
we can
parents.
sort of like deal with our parents. Like the
Not,
next
not really.
The next, well,
Not
no,
really.
the,
No,
you
there's-
can. The
I
next-
can't. You can't.
Dude,
Our parents,
dude,
I deal with them because
our parents don't even know what a computer is still.
But we're
Imagine your
still,
kids dealing
we're
with your
still
parents.
analog.
Yeah, I
we're
know.
still analog. We're still
Of
analog.
course.
We're elder millennials. But if you look at my kids, like my wife fights it, and I see it. This is a good example. I embrace everything, and I'm like the leader of all this shit. And my wife's like you can't even. I had to get her an Apple Watch because she's like she loses her phone and she doesn't answer, and it drives me nuts. So it's like
So she hasn't
like,
adopted.
strap something to her head.
She hasn't adopted the technology.
But that's a
aspect.
lot of people.
Of course.
But that's
a
by
lot
choice.
of people
By choice.
By choice.
That's her
God bless.
choice?
But then I look
Okay.
at my daughter and my it's like we're trying to get tech. I'm like, do it. Like I'm not gonna. You know how to do
But
it.
they're
I give her my.
immersed in it.
The young kids are like a part of the matrix. They're
Yes.
neoed in.
Correct.
So do you think that they're gonna want to deal with the realtor's bullshit?
No.
With the flashy
No,
car
I already
and the
don't.
trench coats.
Yeah, my kids won't.
I'm just saying they want to see that. No, they're
No,
gonna
no,
be
no,
like,
no, no,
give
no,
me
no.
the
Yeah,
product.
100%. My
I want
kids already know what
I
ChatGPT
want
is.
the product.
Definitely.
I don't need you in your trench coat. Give me the product.
Correct.
I want
Don't
the
waste my
Yes.
time with your spiel.
That's it.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear
They
about your
don't
bullshit.
care about the relationship.
No.
Yeah.
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 That's
They're
exactly
just,
true.
They're going to be transactional based.
Sure.
That's it.
Do you guys remember back in the day when we used to go to family doctors? You know, family doctors are. Listen, we already go into our family doctor and say, look, this is what I have. This is what I need. Like, there's no more, can you tell me what's wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? When I go to see my doctor.
Why are you putting that hate on me?
Because, Steve, you're the man who can decide if I'm right or wrong. Because
no, I'm not.
am I right or am I wrong? Mike, when you go to see a doctor, you already have a precursor. No, right. Why?
Why?
Because you get informed on your own. Because there's those tools now. No, but there's those tools now. Back in the day when we were younger, it's either go to a family doctor or you're going to die.
Rewind to my coach that we talked about earlier in the previous episodes, where he always enlightened me and brings a lot of things forward to me. So they've taken, I forgot the name again of who they've been in contact with, but it's basically now talking about the medical industry, where it's basically they'll scan you. Like an AI computer will scan you and basically just tell you what you have, you don't have, what to avoid.
This is happening
This
now?
is a
Yeah,
test.
25 grand and you're
US.
Incredible.
Did you ever watch Elysium?
No, yes, with
watch
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Elysium. Remember they all had to like
Right.
escape that like
That's a movie,
dystopian.
though, but
Remember when they had to
I do.
escape that dystopian environment?
Of course.
Fly to space in that orbit. And then in there they had these med beds.
Of course. We don't have that.
They have them now, dude. Look at them. Look at that. That's an elder millennial. Look at him. Look at him.
You're
Look at
holding
him.
on. You're
Look
holding
at
on
him.
to your history.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
You
Look at
think
that.
that's
You gotta
actually
shave that beard, bro.
Don't worry about the beard. You think that that's really what's happening?
Look, you get into this bed, it scans you, it says, okay, well, you have like genetically blah, 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 blah. This is what you gotta, like, it's gonna give you a scan, like an outprint. And it's, so look, if you go to any doctor, everyone's gone to a different school, they interpret medical, whatever, literature differently than every other, like all of us. We read a book, everyone gets something different out of it. Imagine having something that gives you the right answer every time based on like data, no emotion, not type.
ChatGPT, man.
Thank you.
But ChatGPT got its answers from humans.
yeah, but it's data. It's data driven.
But that's just studying the internet and studies
Yeah.
and it's studying everything all at once.
So AI still has not cleaned up all the propaganda shit. All the stuff that is
Yeah,
but
bull.
they're gonna control what
Eventually,
is bull
yes.
and what's not.
Of
bull.
course, eventually.
But let's just say it's all positive at this point. Let's look at it
Which it
optimistically.
is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But I'm talking about the medical industry. Like my dad, like, you know, he had a massive stroke in 2020. Could that have been avoided? What would have, you know what I mean? It's like a whole different thing. Like it's exciting.
Okay, can I just jump into Neuralink
Yeah.
before we close up this episode? Neuralink, Tesla, Elon Musk, okay?
Yeah.
Neuralink, once you put that chip in, you're going to solve Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, everything, ALS, everything. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? It's a good thing. But what about when someone bad takes this technology?
There's always bad people.
But how are we going to avoid it? We can't because we're dumb compared to AI.
There's good and bad in everything. You're gonna have to counter.
Steve, we're dumb compared to AI.
But look, why is Elon putting Neuralink to counter the AI bullshit, like the robots? Because you're not gonna be. That's what it was. He talks about it like openly. He's like, if we're not compatible with like computers, like AI, like robots, sentient robots, ultimately you're fucked. This
we have to become sentient.
yeah. But
Right.
if you can incorporate Neuralink and get that power also, but also be human at the same time, you can counter the counterpart to that.
According to Elon Musk, he said, right now, it's like AI is talking to an ant when they talk to us.
Yeah,
Because we're that dumb.
1000%.
So if that's already happening now and they're just at the beginning of AI, how in the world are we ever going to survive it?
That's why Elon's
That's what you
creating.
get a real estate on record.
But that's what he's creating Neuralink. That's what he said. That's the whole point.
So you're telling me we got to trust Elon. I love Elon, but that means we have to trust Elon.
1000%. Who are you going to trust?
We're gonna have to trust someone.
We have to trust someone.
Do you not trust him?
I love him.
So,
I think,
well, why
he's,
wouldn't-
I think he's the savior of humanity.
Okay, but yeah. So there's not a
However,
question.
when one person has that much power, now all of a sudden you have to think, what about if he just snaps? What about if he goes off the rails? What about if he just suddenly thinks humanity is not ready for it?
But there's already that person's already there.
Who?
the U.S. government. Look at Biden.
Yeah, you're
Look
absolutely
how
right.
much power that guy
You're,
has.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
He's
right.
the only person. He's changed.
He's helping the working us.
Yeah.
He's helping us.
I don't understand, like, people in tech against Elon. Are they mental? He's the only one that's changed things since Apple, since Steve
They don't
Jobs.
like politicians don't like a change in narrative.
But forget about politics.
But politics owns it, man.
People in technology that are like that thrive for engineering. You see this guy like reinvented everything. Before he created SpaceX, the U.S. government actually sent their astronauts to Russia to go to orbit.
They killed. In Cape Canaveral, Florida. They destroyed the launch pads. It was done.
Why?
Because they gave up.
They gave
It was
up.
too
NASA
expensive.
gave up.
It was too expensive for NASA. It was too expensive for NASA to send rockets to space. So they said to American aspirating astronauts to go to Russia.
They flew to Russia.
They said learn Russian.
They learned.
That's what they said. Learn Russian.
So because of Elon Musk that he did reusable rockets,
Within 10
now,
years,
correct. Now the
Elon
U.S.
Musk
can
made-
go full blast
But
Exactly.
it's brought back space travel to America. Like, are we
to
joking?
humanity, really.
But,
Yeah.
But again, like, for people in technology to go against someone that's done that,